Hello, welcome back. Tonight what I'm going to do is I am going to show you the first part of making a gem matching game. So I'm just going to switch over here to screen and camera, and you can see the screen here that I've set up a new scene. What I've done is I've gone ahead and got a background image which I'll talk about at the end of this video. It's pretty cool because it's for my upcoming game. I'll give you just a little bit of an idea of what I'm going to be working on there. So I'm just starting to gather resources and do some artwork for it. I've got match point title. I've got points, this 0 here. I got these two bars, but you won't see them in use yet. I may need them as invisible objects to keep these from going in places they don't need to. I'll get into that a little bit. Then I've just created red, green, and blue balls. So we'll be using those, and I have the global object of the grid that I used in the last video, and I'm just going to go into that right now, and I just want to add an effect to that. Outline effect, sure, and I'm just going to go, no, I don't want to go outline, I want to go, what did I want to do for that? You know what? No, I'm not going to do anything for that. I don't need to do anything for that. I'll just leave that alone. Cancel. That's fine. We're just going to leave it as it is. Because there is an outline on it already, but because it's blue, you don't really see the black outline to it because I've got a black background. So if I change that black background to another color, then yeah. Anyway, not important, especially for this. So anyway, here's the screen area. So now I've extended the grid up here because my thoughts are that a person might want to make it so more of these balls drop down. Like if I was to do a third part on this, maybe even in the second, I'm not sure. Do more balls drop down, and you keep matching until you get X amount of points and clear the screen and move on. Or get X amount of matches, set up another variable, etc., etc. Anyways, over in here, I set up a new global variable, which I call match points, and it's a number variable, and it's just set to 0. So now I'll come over here to the matchy, and I will, I've commented this one a lot more, so I should be able to run through this pretty quick. So basically just at the beginning of the scene, I've set up the game screen and the update. So just center the game window, and no if condition over here. Basically just change the points to match the variable of match points, which I just showed you both of those. So it'll take that 0 and change it to whatever match points is. Match points is set to start at 0. Escape, as I always do, hit the escape key and you will exit the game. Down here, set up the red ball. So now what I've done is I've actually set up all 3 of these, and they're all identical except for where the color variation is. And I'll just quickly go over the red ball to explain what I've done here. So no if statement, just an actual command. Snap the red ball to a virtual grid with 128 by 128 pixels in offset position of 4 by 4. And if we come back over to here, each one of these grids is 128 by 128, and the blue line is 4. So that gives me my offset and my spacing so that everything just, no matter where I drop one of these balls on here, it doesn't matter, it's going to snap to grid and line up properly. So I've done that. So now do we come down here, red ball's in collision with a red ball, delete the red ball. Then change the global variable match points, which I showed you that variable I created, to add 100 points. So then this runs all the time, and it'll check that more or less every second, update the points. So every frame this runs, and it'll be, okay, here you go, here's your points updated, you just got 100 points. Pretty straightforward. You've seen that used before in other examples. Then red is in collision with blue. Simple. Move red away from blue, but only red will move. So it's just a separate move. Same thing with the green. Move the red away from the green, only red will move. Now, this works really well, except there's a complication when I repeat it in the blues and the greens, what happens is they both want to act. However, the first one in the frame seems to take dominance, so it doesn't look at these. So if I'm moving a red ball, it doesn't look at the red, it looks up here at these red statements. If I'm moving a blue ball, if it's the red hits it, then it still does the move red away from the blue. And I'll demonstrate that now. So you see how all this works. It's pretty straightforward, this initial part of the setup. I'm going to hit preview. So if I take a blue ball and move it, it snaps to grid. Green ball snaps to grid. Snaps to grid. They're not touching, so nothing happens. If I touch that, they both disappear. Green touches green. Delete the green. Add 100 points. Same here. Red to red. Adds 100 points. Same here. Blue to blue. Adds 100 points. So pretty straightforward. Red to green. Separates it. Pretty good there, right? Separates it. Drag it over to here. Wants to separate it on this side. Still pops it back over to there. It doesn't seem to make a difference. See there? I come in from the top. It still wants to put it over on this side. Drop this blue down. Here's where it gets trickier. Let me just get rid of this green. Pop that red up there. We're not going to do anything with it. So if I move this red over to this blue, watch what happens. See that? It bumped that blue over. It moved that blue. It shouldn't have moved that blue. It should have tried to put the red somewhere. It seems to be going to the left side. And then it decided, hey, no, I'm going to boot that blue out of the way. And it did. It moved that blue out of the way. And then it jumped itself in there. So there's something up with my logistics there. If I put that there, and if I come in from this side, it works like it's supposed to. So that's the behavior I want no matter where I come in from. And it worked there. Worked there. If I come in from this side, it jumps it over there again. However, my two blue must have touched. Oh, that's weird. Oh, my physics. I could slide them. I didn't realize that. Huh. I've added an extra movement. Somehow. But I can't do it with the red. So I got something weird going on there. I'm not sure. Alright, let me escape out. I'm going to see if there's a difference in the code here, because I just saw something funky. So, that was moving a blue. So I was moving the blue. Virtual grid, snap to grid. Still snap to grid. So it's the same thing. It's not a different behavior there on the snap to. So then the blue came in contact with red. Move blue away from red. Only blue will move. But red was moving. When red comes into contact with blue, move red away from blue. Only red will move. So in theory, that shouldn't be happening. Like, I shouldn't be moving the other... What about green? Nope. Green behaves as expected. What if I do it with a red? So the green moves the red as well. Interesting. So red doesn't. It's first in the line. Blue ball is set up the same. It was actually moving them. So while blue was pushing against the blue, and it wasn't deleting the blue. Green was pushing against the green, and it wasn't deleting the green. Unless it did when I stopped moving. Maybe there's something weird there. Deleted the green there. See, look at that. Oh, I know what's happening there. Okay, so except there. Why did that? Oh, I know exactly why. I know why. Okay, so this is again, so I never set up my collision masking on any of these things or my center points. So let's just look at collision masks. So it's a square. That's fine. Edit points. If I put that in the middle, close, apply. It's going to mess them up in the grid, I think, but yeah, they're all messed up in the grid. I'll have to figure that out, but yeah. So what's going on there is that I need to go in, edit my points, move that to there, close, apply, go into green, edit my points, move that to there, close, apply, preview. Now they're going to be more or less on the center now rather than in the middle of the grid, but they'll still snap. And it's still pushing it out of the way. But the red jumps. So that didn't actually fix it. So I'm not sure what's going on there. So that is very, very interesting. Red doesn't move it. Green pushes it and slides it. Blue isn't moving it. Is it pushing the blue, the red? It is pushing the red. So they both green and blue push the red. The red can't push the green or the blue. That is very interesting. So to me, it might be this. Shouldn't be. Sometimes it can be the order of events. Red and blue. Let's just see if that changes anything. I'm not expecting it to, but oh, now the blue is acting as supposed to, except it moves the red, not the green. It was moving the green. So it is something to do with the order that I've laid these down in. So what a person might want to do, and I'll figure this out for the next one, is it might have to have all the like collisions, so blue collides with blue, so in here all the like collisions, blue collides with blue, red collides with red, green collides with green. Then come down here, all the blues, then all the reds. I might have to separate it out. And I might have to make universals where they both move away from each other rather than one from the other one. I'll have to figure that out. There's definitely something in the order of the events per frame because these aren't subgrouped out. That might be the other thing, is I might have to just sub these out, check for a collision, and then sub out how that collision works, and do a subroutine. However, that's not going to be in this video. So I got most of it done. Most of it works. You know, red to red disappears, blue to blue disappears, green to green disappears. They snap to grid when you drop them. They align themselves. Global works. The points add up. I've got a big chunk of that done. So the second part of this video, I just wanted to quickly touch on this image. I'm going to go over to screen capture here. And what you can see is this planetoid. It's a gas giant, and it's got a bunch of little moons around it. And each of these moons, you can see these little tendrils of atmosphere snaking back to the big giant gas giant. And so what that is this game that I'm going to be working on is a giant mother world, god figure, whatever, it can be the deities of the planet, sibling gods or whatever, and they all share, they'll be using kind of like steampunk airships because it's a gas giant, and this is a very thick atmosphere that allows interconnection between all of the moons and the mother planet. I thought it was a great concept for travel around, and then to have separate environments. So there's actually a reason for these separate environments. Like this world here will be like a mineral rich one where you go to mine minerals and rocks and stuff. This one here will be kind of like a farming planet. This one here will be like a canyon land, and who knows what's going to come in there. That's all going to evolve. This one here, a jungle planet. This little one back here, a water world. There's room for 3 more in the equation around the back. I haven't figured out what they're going to be. I have started coming up with a little bit of concept art for the airship and what these planets look like. So basically I'm going to have like basically just a screenshot of the airship entering each zone and stuff, because the player will, wherever he starts, he'll probably start on this farming planet here, I'm thinking. And he'll depending on your race, because you might be able to choose race, what have you, and then you'll start on a different planet if you're a different race eventually as the game goes. But I think in the first version, the 2D RPG version that I'm going to do here, you're probably just going to start in a farming community, and then you'll be able to develop or get your hands on an airship that you can modify throughout the game, and you can use it to travel the cloud corridors, and then encircle the planet, and you can take different navigation routes. And there's probably also going to be energy that you can harvest, smaller amounts on the little moons, and then maybe big missions to come and collect it as you're traveling through the cloud corridors. Maybe you can collect these energy balls that are kind of like ball lightning, use those and harness them through crystals or whatever to upgrade your gear and equipment, or who knows what. I'll come up with some system there that kind of makes sense, kind of works with what we got going on, and so on and so forth. So anyway, that's the concept, and that's based on a real thing, by the way. I mean, not this extreme. I've taken some artistic liberties, but in astrophysics, there is planets out there that share an atmosphere with each other. There's also binary suns that share their solar masses with each other. But basically, when 2 planets are interlinked, orbit each other, and share their atmosphere, it's called a Roche world, and it is a real thing. So anyway, that's where I'm going to leave this. I will see you in the next video where we finish off this matching game. And then after that, I think maybe we'll jump into a platformer and we'll start doing some more of that sort of thing. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.